I'm using trout. It's a freshwater fish. First of all, I'm going to take the bones out. It's quite easy to do. You can't do this with all fish, but trout works really well. Just pushing my thumb underneath the bones so that they stick up. I do this both sides. Just keep pushing and slowly they all pop out. You can then work from the top of the front of the fish to tease the backbone out. Just pushing my thumb down against the bones on both sides. You come to a point where you can pull the bones out. We get it to the vent and then we need to just release the flesh with a knife down to the tail. That allows us to continue this process. All the way down. And all the bones should come out. Now we can just cut off the... There we have the bone. We don't want these fins on the sides, so I'm going to cut those out. They've got a few bones attached to them, so we need to just cut those away. And there are some on the back. You can just cut them off with the scissors. Any odd bones that remain, you can just pull out. Until we're happy with it. There we go. Now that I've got the fish prepared, we need to make a cure, which is just salt. You need quite a lot, and about the same quantity of sugar. Give these a good mix. They're well mixed. Then we get our fish, and we need to make sure the fish is completely coated, both sides, particularly the flesh side, completely coated with the cure. There's one. Two. Three. I've only got 3 today. What's going to happen is the salt and the sugar will leach all the liquid out of the fish and effectively will partially cook the fish. So there we go. Just make sure everything is well covered. That's all we need to do. However, I like a little bit of secret ingredient in mine, which is Jack Daniel's whiskey. Actually, I didn't have much Jack Daniel's, so I've got one small measure of Scotch whiskey. It could be any booze, or you could just leave it out if you don't want to use it. Rum would work well. That's it. And we're going to leave that for 3 or 4 hours, and what will happen is that the liquid will be drawn out of the flesh and the fish fillets will become slightly rubbery. Once that happens, we'll wash all the cure off and hang them up to dry thoroughly, and then tomorrow I'll take it out to the smoker and we'll smoke it. It's now 4 hours later, and you can see that lots of liquid has come out of the fish. So the next stage is to wash all of this cure off of the fish. So we'll go over to the sink, and you can see now that the fish has become quite firm. That's because it's got no liquid in it. We'll wash all the cure off. And after that, we're going to hang it up to dry. But the fish skin is quite firm now, so I need to make holes in it. And then we're going to put a skewer through it. And we're going to hang them up to dry until tomorrow. Good morning. The fish has been hanging overnight, and we're going to go and take it to the smoker now. I'm also going to be smoking this bacon that I've made. So let's go to the smoker. The smoker's kept out here in my garage, along with my old motorbike. Here's the smoker. It's just a wooden box with a door on the front. To make the smoke, I use these smoke generators. Put one of these tea lights into each generator. That will ignite the sawdust and make smoke, and it will keep smoking for several hours. Before I had the smoke generators, I used this contraption made out of 2 old tins. The tin on the top's quite a wide bottomed one, and I've punched holes in it. And the one on the bottom, where I'd put the tea light into the one on the bottom, and I've punched holes around the sides so that air can get in. So the tea light keeps going and keeps the wood chips smouldering. With this one, I had to keep checking it periodically and topping it up with dust. These new ones, they just keep going. So I'm going to hang the fish and the bacon on these racks and put the tea lights in that little tray at the bottom. Okay, we've got the bacon and the fish hanging, and smoke is starting to come from the smoke generators. So I'll close the door. And we'll be back in a few hours. been about 3/4 of an hour, and I'm just going to check on our progress. I can see there's smoke rising. So let's have a peek inside. We can see that at the bottom the smoke generators are smouldering away nicely, and there's plenty of smoke. For those who are interested, this is the bacon that I make. I buy the pork from a butcher's. This is a loin of pork. They take the bones out for me. The process for curing it is very much the same as the fish, the difference being it sits in the cure for a lot longer. What I do is I put it into a shrink wrap bag, plastic bag, along with the cure, which I buy from a commercial company, which contains sugar and salt and Prague powder, which makes the bacon stay pink. It also stops the skin from getting too tough. I also add sugar and maple syrup, then seal the bag, put it in the fridge, and it stays there for about 3 weeks, turning the bag over every day. Once that's done, I take it out and wash it, hang it up here in the kitchen for a couple of days until it's completely dried out. Then it's ready to smoke. Here's our bacon and our fish, all smoked. As you can see, the fish is now quite firm and it smells delicious. The bacon also has that orange colour from the smoke and again smells lovely. I'll hang this up to dry for a couple of days before I shrink wrap it and put it in the fridge.